What's up everyone, welcome back to WRX Garage. Today we are doing a little bit of maintenance on my car because I've been having some issues. You guys know I put the J-pipe, the Grimspeed aftermarket J-pipe in the car, and ever since I did that I've been having a couple issues here and there where it just sounds a little rattly. It sounds like there's some air escaping, which means I'm pretty sure I have an exhaust leak. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be lifting the car, going under, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to, one, check for exhaust leaks, a really simple, easy, dirt cheap way to do it, and two, how to fix them. And hopefully it's just like another kind of rattle, but if we do have an exhaust leak, I do have some high temperature gasket maker. So let's see, this is the copper. A lot of people use the red gasket maker, but because the cap on the Grimspeed downpipe is pulled so far back away from the headers, that entire downpipe, the entire J-pipe section off the back of the turbo housing gets pretty hot. So I'm going to be using the best stuff I can. I know there's one step above, but copper is like going to be probably the best option. The other thing I want to fix is, and the other reason I want to do this, especially on that flange where the J-pipe hits the turbo, is because we were only able to extract 3 of the stock turbo studs. So three new ones are in there, it's nice stainless steel. There's one that isn't, and there is 3 points of contact instead of 4, which keeps the face of that flange and the nice Grimspeed, amazing Grimspeed gasket. They do a good job with those. Nice and tight on there, but just for a little bit of extra security, I'm gonna be putting this on there. So let's get into it. I'm gonna raise the car up, get started, and show you guys the trick that I use for checking how to find an exhaust leak. So I don't have my tripod with me, but I have a little tripod thing, but okay. So first up, guys, we're gonna be lifting the car. I already chalked the back wheels, but anytime you're going under a car, you always want to make sure you guys are being as safe as possible. You always hear those stories. Don't be one of those stories. Don't become one of those stories. Always use the right equipment when you're going under a car. Don't use Harbor Freight jack stands. Memes. Speaking of the right equipment, if anybody wants to send me a really nice jack, that would be great. Kyle has one, and we both went in on it, and it's at his house, and I get stuck with the crappy Walmart one. So, if anybody's watching, and you want to sponsor me a nice jack, please let me know. So, we're gonna start with nice and easy. We're just removing this entire trim, or I'm gonna pop off this side just so we can see everything again. Huh. Perfect. So now that those are exposed, let's talk about what method I'm going to be using. Oh, I'm sweaty. This has a nice little blue hue to it, and when I shake it, it's filled with soap and water. You guys can do this at home, super easy. You don't need a spray bottle, just buy Poland Springs. I'm not a huge fan of single-use plastics, but gets the job done. We're gonna poke a hole in the top of it with a knife, spray it on there, see if there's bubbles up while the car is idling. I'm going to be doing the same thing down at the catback flange right in the middle of the car too. So let's start here, see what we can see, and go from there. Alright, it's going to be hard to hear me because it's really loud, but now that the car is on, I'm going to be shaking this up. Where's my knife? All I'm going to be doing bring this on there. Woo. Why isn't that working? There we go. I think I put too much soap. Yep. So it's gonna be really hard to tell, guys, but I gotta clamp all the soap now. But yep, there is a little bit of bubbling occurring right in here, right on this side. I'm not touching it because it's very hot, but like right in here, right in there. So I'm going to be going and testing the mid pipe now, the cap back, where I think I have another one. So let's slide on down, see what we can do. All right, so there's my flange. Mid-pipe flange, and again, very, very warm, guys, so we want to make sure that while we're under the car here, we're not touching anything. Okay. All right. So I don't know how well you guys can see any of that, but essentially, we had a little bit of a leak in the front gasket where it's attached to the turbo housing, and then I think there's a tiny one also in the catback, but the catback didn't look that bad. But we are only idling, and it is low RPM, so I'm gonna turn the car off now. Okay. So I'm going to be disconnecting the J-pipe real quick, putting that gasket maker on there just for good measure, and yeah, try to set you guys up so with a bit of a better angle so you can see it a little better. But cool. Nice. Actually, not as bad as I thought it was going to be to take off. That stuff did its job for sure. The anti-seize definitely did its job, which is what we want. Perfect. Second nut, and the third one, because we only have 3. Is up in here. You don't have to take it all the way off. Just enough to do that. That's perfect. That's all I needed. So I have my gasket maker here. Nice little applicator tip. I'm gonna flip the camera here, right on my chest, so I can show you guys everything. That, ow! I just touched the bolt, and the bolt is hot. Everything is like 200 degrees under here. We got a nice little gap here in between the flange of the down pipe, the J pipe, and the turbo. And we get our nice little gasket in there. I'm gonna put a little bead from right about there to right about here, all the way on both sides of the gasket. Just a little slim little line. So I don't know what the best way to actually film this is, but I'm gonna go right underneath actually. Oh, beauty. So I'm gonna start with the inside edge. And this is the one we had the trouble with. So can I go out a little more? No, that's perfect, okay. Just right there. Just around the hole here. Oh, that is going to be absolutely perfect, guys. I'm just going to do a little bit on the inside too, and next to that bolt there. You don't want to use too much, but you don't want to use too little either. I am so wise and magical. Of course, if you guys can do this while installing it, when the entire thing's off, before you even get into all this, that's even better. But Kevin is a dum-dum, and where's my flashlight? Perfect. I think that's enough. So let's get that sealed back up with our bolts. That's what we want, a nice tight seal. Again. Oh, it's the headers that keep burning me. Oh. Okay. Those are all pretty damn snug. So like a quarter turn more each. Snapping these. Well, they are stainless, so they should really go nice and tight. Okay, that should be good. Even though we don't have a bolt down here, this thing is not moving at all. I got the nice exhaust gasket in there. Yep. That's all she wrote, fellas. I'll be doing the same thing. You don't really have to watch that in the mid pipe. It can be really cramped and awkward. So, yeah. I guess we'll give it a start later and see how much of this flies out of my face. And if that doesn't work, then I don't know what we will do, but we will figure something out, so. Okay guys, so we are all set. Got everything bolted back up on the car, all the under trays. I replaced a bunch of those pop clips, which I needed to replace for a long time. Let's do a nice little startup and go back under the car and see how everything sounds. So off the bat, just from my own ears, it's a lot less like rattly, and I hear less air moving down there, which is good. Let's just go under real quick. Oh, that definitely fixed it. It's going to be very smelly for a while, and Gasketmaker, as long as there's no liquids going through it, it doesn't really matter if you turn the car on. I mean, you want it to dry for a little bit, yeah, but it's gonna get heat cycles going through it no matter what. And those heat cycles are actually gonna help evaporate some of the moisture out and harden it. So if you're not putting any, like if you're doing like a head gasket for your oil, that's one thing. If you're doing an exhaust where there's no moisture or any kind of liquid involved, it's fine to turn the car on within an hour or so. So I think it's about maybe an hour or two since I finished that up, but cool. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about how to fix a exhaust leak and how to diagnose one. Pretty simple. Just make sure you use the right amount of soap and water in that bottle there, spray it on, look for those little bubbles and leaks coming out. So I think that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Nice quick short video. If you have not yet, if you made it to the end of the video here, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us. We have a lot more content coming out for our WRX and also some other cars in the future. So make sure you guys follow the channel for all of that. And yeah, thanks again, and we will see you in the next one.